Okay, welcome back to part 2. In this one it says FE bisects angle DEG. So again, we have two equal sections. The measure of angle DEF is 5x minus 3, and FEG is 2x plus 15. Find the measure of angle FEG. So again, since they're bisected, you set them equal. So we have 5x minus 3 is equal to 2x plus 15. Okay, we'll just solve this. So x is equal to 6, and so now we need FEG, so we'll just plug in. So 2 times 6 plus 15, 12 plus 15, and you get 27. Okay, next part here, conditional statements. Okay, conditional statements are if-then statements. So this is all the logic stuff that we had covered before. So it says, if two angles are supplementary, then their sum is 90. Nope, that would be false. Okay. Here it says, if two angles are vertical, then they are congruent. Yes, that is true. That is the definition of vertical angles. Okay, it says, complete the conjectures. The product of two negative numbers is, and we're looking for, like, what is it always? So let's see. Negative 3 times negative 3. Well, that's a positive 9. So anytime you multiply two negative numbers, the product is positive. Okay, and you can do that with, many others. So negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. The sum of two negative numbers is negative. Okay, because think about it. If you do negative 3 plus negative 3, that's going to be negative 6. You're just getting more negative by adding on more negatives. The quotient of a negative number and a positive number is blank. Okay, so that's a negative divided by a positive. So we'll do negative 3 divided by 1. That's negative 3. So it's always negative. Okay, determine if the following statements are valid by the law of detachment, law of syllogism, or not valid. So detachment. Okay, detachment. The first one is P, then Q. The second one is P only. The third one is Q only. With syllogism, you have P then Q, Q then R, P then R. Okay? And if your statements don't follow the order for these, then they're not valid. Okay, if I go to the movie, so that's P, then I'll eat popcorn. That's Q. If I eat popcorn, so that's Q, then I'll enjoy the movie. So that's R. So that's a new one. So now they're going to conclude, if I go to the movie, that matches P, then I'll enjoy the movie, that matches R. So this follows the pattern for syllogism. Okay. Number 23. If a figure is a square, then it is a rectangle. So is a square, then it is a rectangle. If a figure is a rectangle, then it has 4 right angles. Okay, so there's P then Q, Q then R. So now we're looking at, this might be syllogism, so let's look at the next sentence. It says, if the figure is a rectangle, well, that matches Q. Then it is a square, well, that matches P. That doesn't follow the order that it should, so it is not valid. Okay, if my mother lets me go to a movie, that's P, then I will be happy, that's Q. Conclusion, I am happy. My mom let me go to the movie. So it's P and Q. and then Q, then P. It doesn't follow any of them, so it's not valid. Okay, it says, are the following statements inductive or deductive reasoning? And so remember, inductive is your specific situation, and then you translate it into a general rule. Okay? And then deductive is where you have a general rule and you bring it to your specific situation. Okay, so in order to take geometry, a student must pass Algebra 1. Maria has passed Algebra 1, so she can take geometry. So it starts off in general, and then it goes specifically to Maria. So this is deductive. Okay. A coin has been tossed 3 times, and it landed on heads each time. Therefore, each time the coin is tossed, it will land on heads. So this one, they're going from 3 specific instances that they've observed the same thing. So they're trying to make a general rule for this coin. So this is inductive reasoning. Okay, next thing. Write the statements as biconditionals. Remember, biconditionals have that if and only if wording. Okay, triangles with 3 equal sides are equilateral triangles. So you can say a triangle has 3 equal sides if and only if it is equilateral. Okay, here we go. 2 angles that add up to 180 degrees are supplementary. 2 angles add up to 180 degrees if and only if they are supplementary. Okay. All right. This one says find a counterexample to prove the statement false. Okay, when you're finding a counterexample, the first part has to be true. And you're trying to prove this part right here, the second part, false. Okay, so it's if it is December, then it is snowing. Okay, so we have to show that it can be December, but not snowing. So it's December. But it's not snowing. Okay, and an example of that would be if you live in the southern hemisphere, their seasons are opposite to ours, so it could be December and actually not be snowing. And also, it doesn't snow everywhere here in the US in December, so that's a good one. And a counterexample was you could be on the equator. You could be at the equator or somewhere where it doesn't snow. Okay, if it is raining, then you need an umbrella. Okay, well, think of a time when it would be raining, but you wouldn't need an umbrella. Maybe you're going to stay inside. Maybe you're going to use a rain jacket. Maybe you want to actually just play in the rain. Who knows? But there are times where it might be raining, but you don't need an umbrella. Okay, 31, it says, identify what type of logical statement each of the following are based on the following conditional statement. If a bird is a penguin, then it cannot fly. So is a penguin, that's the hypothesis. Cannot fly, that is the conclusion. Okay, contrapositive is not Q, then not P. converse, it just switches, it's Q then P. And then the inverse is not P, then not Q. Okay, so if a bird is not a penguin, then it can fly. So not a penguin, that's not P. And then it can fly, that's not Q. Because the original Q is cannot fly, and so what's the opposite of cannot fly? Can't fly. So not P, not Q, that's your inverse. So the inverse is A. Okay, B, if a bird can fly, so can fly, so that's not Q. Then it is not a penguin, so that's not P. So Q and P have been switched and negated, so that's the contrapositive, so that's B. Okay, so now it says if a bird cannot fly, so that's Q, then it is a penguin, that's P. Q then P just switched, that's your converse, so that's C. Okay, it says name all the pairs of corresponding angles. So corresponding angles, they look like they're in the same spot, but remember you have a group of 4 up here and a group of 4 down here. Okay, so they just look like they're in the same place from each group. So 1 and 5, because they're both on the top left. So 1 and 5. 2 and 6. 3 and 7. And 4 and 8. Okay, those would be corresponding angles. Okay, next one, I'm just going to go down the list here. It says name all the pairs of same side exterior angles. So we're going to be on the same side of the transversal and on the outside. So 1 and 8. And then 2 and 7. All right. Name all the pairs of alternate exterior angles. So these are ones where they're exterior, but they're on different sides of the transversal. So 1 and 7, as well as 2 and 8. Okay, number 33, it says name all the pairs of same side interior angles. So they're between your two lines and they're on the same side of the transversal. So 4 and 5, and 3 and 6. Okay, name all the pairs of alternate interior angles. So we have 3 and 5, and then 4 and 6. 37 says name all the pairs of vertical angles. Okay, well there's 4. So 1 and 3, 2 and 4, okay, 5 and 7, and 6 and 8. All right, so there's our second page done. So I will go on ahead and upload this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.